Wonderful jollof rice. Wonderful jollof rice. Beautiful. Hi, everybody. So I'm gonna show you how I actually make some jollof rice. So as you know, I'm not from any of the African countries, but if you know my life story, my personal life, you know why I'm making jollof rice. I'm not gonna tell you, you're too nosy. Anyway, I pretty much learned how to make African food by watching people, maybe people in the church show me how to make it. I learned from some of the YouTubers how they make various African food. And that's pretty much how I learn. And, I won't say I'm a master at it, but I actually do a very decent job. So I'm sharing with you how I make jollof rice. Keep in mind, in this one, I did not use any form of meat. I only use fish. So here, as you can see from the screen, the vegetables that I use some onions, some sweet peppers, shallots, garlic, and also some scotch bonnet peppers. And basically, I just cut them up, put them in that pot, drizzle some olive oil over it, and I just put it in the oven for 35 minutes and broil option to kind of get them, a little roasted to kind of give it a smoky taste. And that's pretty much it. So you can see right there, it's inside the oven, and that's it. So you might be asking what I use for my meat kind. So I use fish. I know fish is not really meat, it's poultry, but I use fish, and I got those fish in Africa. If you ask me the name, I honestly don't know, but I bought them in the fish market in Africa, and that's what I use. So I had those frozen fish, and I used them. I just basically washed them and I used them. It's smoked fish, and they were in my freezer, and I just used 2 pieces of that. I also used those fresh cod that I got here, and I just used them to kind of give it a little bit of a difference, kind of add a little bit of flavor. So if you ask me, you can call it, I don't know, you can call it Canadian jollof, or if you want to call it Ghanaian jollof or Nigerian jollof. Let's see, whatever you want to call it, that's fine. You can even call it Oyinabo jollof, whatever you want to call it. So I start off by seasoning. I add a little black pepper. And then right after the black pepper, I add just some white pepper as well. I add also some curry. And if you know that I like turmeric. So I add a little bit of turmeric as well. And once I pour that turmeric on it, I add, just a little bit of extra spice. So I add some fish seasoning. It's all just for flavor why I add the fish seasoning, and just pretty much little bit of stuff. So, and I add, in Africa they use Maggi, but I use the Knorr, which is pretty much the same thing. So I use a little bit of Knorr as well. And that's pretty much what I add for the seasoning. I add, as you see, the fish seasoning there, but I also add, my bay leaves and other stuff just to kind of give it a little bit of flavor. So you can see right there from it, that's what I pretty much add. I add a little bit of thyme, and just to keep it all going. So that's pretty much it. All right. So in addition to all of that, like I said, I put onions on it, and I pour a little water inside of this whole thing. I add a little piece of ginger, and I just basically do that to create the stock for the jollof rice. All right. So you can see right there, I'm in the process of doing all of that, and I'm having fun making that jollof rice. And I have to do a voiceover over this video because I just didn't want to have any distractions while I was doing it. All right. So just stay tuned, and I'll talk to you throughout the video, kind of showing you what I'm doing. So right there, you can see the stock is being created, and I just add a 1/4 cup of water on it. And I add the fish that I got in the fish market in Africa. And also, in the process of all of that, I ended up add some more water to it. And you will see when I add the water, I add about maybe 2.5 cups of water. I break that fish right there in two and to put it on it. And basically that's it. So see them add the water, and that's pretty much the stock that I created for the jollof rice. So after all of that, I pretty much let it sit for about 10 minutes, and I just create a basic little stock, and it's all boils down to giving the jollof rice some flavor, because I didn't want it to come out, not tasting proper. You know, I wanna look good doing my jollof rice. I don't want to fail the people that have been teaching me for so long how to make jollof. I don't want to fail them, so I have to make sure that it tastes really good. And I'm bragging, it actually tastes really good. All right, so after creating my stock right there, you can see right from the video, I was checking in on my vegetables that's been on broil. And basically, all I did, I take them from the oven, put them in my food processor, and I just basically blend them to a puree mixture to create my jollof. And see from the stock right there, I just drain it off. So I strain it because I didn't want all those extra particles in my jollof rice. I just strain off the stock, and that's basically it. You can see right there, I'm blending up all that goodness. And you may be wondering, where's my tomato? I didn't have any tomatoes, so I use actually a tomato, crushed tomatoes, and you'll see it. So right there, you can see I'm frying the fish that I use for the stock. I'm just frying them dry. And you can see I was like having a wonderful time in the kitchen. So I was frying them dry right there. And that's pretty much what I do. I fry them dry. And the rest of the things that remain from the stock, I blend it in to get some flavor as well, because as I told you, I'm only using fish, and I blend it in to kind of help with the stock as well to get some flavor. So you see that I'm frying these, and I'm basically removing them. So I did add some onion in the oil just for flavor, and the same oil that I used to fry that fish, I use it to fry the jollof rice. So that's pretty much it. And the leftover onions, right from there, I use it to put into that food processor with extra stuff that I blend up just for flavor, you know, because you can be making jollof rice and you're not using your goat and your fish to make your stock, and it doesn't taste right. You gotta have to be creative and get some flavor, and that's pretty much what I did. All right, so you can see I'm taking out the fish and putting them in a different container, and I'm just gonna get ready to make my jollof rice. So just stay tuned and watch me as I make my jollof. Canadian jollof, whatever jollof you want to call it. Oyinbo. Did I say it right? Oyinbo. I gotta have to ask somebody to help me pronounce this properly, but you know what I mean. So you can see I'm pouring back the onions that I leave in the pan right there in that mixture, and just all for flavor. So now I'm gonna make my jollof rice. So you can see right there, I pour some onion in the oil, and again, just for flavor, and I just mix it in. And that's all that goodness. Then I'm going to add my tomato paste. So I just use a basic one, Unico brand. And I just pour it inside of the oil with the onion right there. And, you know, one of the persons that I like to watch on YouTube for jollof rice is Joyful Cook. And I kind of use her method in a way. I'm not perfect as her, but I follow her method. And you can see I use the crushed tomato. And the reason why, because I don't have any tomato. I just use what I have. So that's a tomato paste right there. And I'm just mixing it in the oil. It's a little hard to mix, so I kind of let the oil kind of break it down, the heat. And then I'm just going to mix it all in until it starts to taste sweet. And it's going to be ready to mix into the oil until you see the oil start to settle in the top. And then you know that it's ready. And that's what I learned from my teachers. All right, so after all of that, you know, I'm mixing in. I'm going to add my other ingredients. So basically, you can see right there, just mixing and having fun. Right? Just having fun. Then I add the actual vegetables. So those are the vegetables that I blend, the onions, the peppers, all of that stuff. And I just add it in. And, you know, I'm not that tech savvy, so I use my hand to record, and I also use my hand to cook. So that's why I look a little awkward in the video. So I have to kind of put on the camera and do my thing and take up at the camera and record. So that's it. So don't criticize me in my kitchen. I'm using both hands to record and also to cook. So that's the crushed tomato that I show you that I use. And the reason why I use it, because I don't have any tomato in the fridge when I was cooking that. So I use what I have. And I'm just mixing it in and get my nice little sauce up and running and beautiful. And that's pretty much it. So you can see right there, the oil is at the top. And based on what I was told, that once I see that, my jollof is ready and it's time to season it. So I put some white ground pepper. And I heard white ground pepper tastes good with jollof, and I always use it. Spanish paprika, I put a little bit of that. Right. And you can see right there, I'm just seasoning up the jollof rice. I add some garlic powder, just a little bit, not too much. Right. And then I add the chicken bouillon, which is the Maggi, as that they what they will call it. We don't have to buy the tiny little Maggi. We have the big ones here, so I use that one. I just use some, not too much. And you might be wondering, where's my rice? Like, so I have my rice and I had it in boiling water and I soak it in that boiling water for like 20 minutes. Obviously, I wash my rice and basically I just start to put in the rice little by little. So it's about 3 cups of rice and I put it in little by little and just work it in the sauce that I'm using for the jollof rice. So little by little, I put it in, work my way through, and I got my whole 3 cups in. And you can see right there, I didn't have so much water on my jollof. I just pretty much used that. So that's the stock, the stock that I created from the fish. So that's what I'm using now. And, I clean as I cook. You can see that. And as I do that, I kind of fold it in and get it to the where I want it in terms of the consistency and making sure that everything is nice. Like, I don't want to overwhelm my jollof with so much water and stuff to lose the flavor. So I just basically fold in everything. And you can see right there from the video, I'm just working it. So that's actually the other mixture that I got with the fish and the little particles that's left behind. So I put that together, and all of that is just for flavor, just to kind of make sure my jollof tastes right. And I just pretty much work it in until I get my desired jollof rice. And, I use what I need for the actual three and a half. It's about 3.5 cups of jollof rice. All right. Okay. So you can see right there, the rice is being prepared and I have to be stirring it because, if you just leave your jollof rice, it's going to burn. So I have to keep stirring it. And it takes a lot of work to make African food. So those that are putting yourself in the position where you have to make African food, you got to be prepared to spend time in the kitchen. All right. Ding, ding, ding. I'm not going to tell you why. All right. So what I did after doing all of that, I add some foil paper on it. And that's just to basically trap the steam in and also to get the jollof rice to cook straight through and properly. So that's pretty much it. And after some time, I take off back the paper and I just keep mixing in the rice and, do all that good stuff. Right. And you can see right there, I'm enjoying mixing my rice. And again, I'm using both hands. So there you see. And I'm giving you a little bit of slow motion because it's just beautiful. All right. Enjoy. All right, so after that, I add some frozen vegetable because I'm like almost at the end of making my jollof rice. So I add those frozen vegetables inside. And you can just get your frozen vegetables wherever you live in a local market. I just got some frozen vegetables and mixed vegetables and I just put them in there. And that's just the little vegetables. I add the bay leaves, because nobody said that you have to add the bay leaves at a certain time. So I just add them at that time. And I just keep mixing them in and waiting on the jollof to kind of finish up because we're almost at the final phase. And yeah, you can see I'm enjoying it. Enjoy. Then I add back my foil paper on it because, again, I want my jollof rice to turn out very good. Like I said, I got to represent for the non-African ladies that have to make jollof rice. So that's pretty much it. And you can see right there, I take off back the paper, I mean the foil paper from it, and the rice start to look better. The grains are not sticking together. And then I just add some onions. So you know that's almost the end when you're adding onions, and that's again for flavor. And then for butter, I just put some butter because one of the ladies that I watch, or my favorite person that I watch for jollof rice, which is Joyful Cook, she says that the butter kind of makes the rice a little shine and beautiful. So I did that, and then I put back the foil paper on, and then I cover it for a few more minutes, and pretty much that's it. My jollof rice was almost done, or it was done. All right, so now I'm going to take off back the foil paper, and that's the last, or maybe the last step, you know, take off back the foil paper, and I'm just going to mix through it. Right there, you see the rice looks better, the grains are not sticking together, and basically that's it. That's my jollof rice. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, your family, and loved ones. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, and also hit that notification bell so that whenever we go live, you'll be able to see and join us every time we upload something. I do appreciate your video. Please leave nice comments. You know, for somebody that's not an African, you should give them some credit. Enjoy my jollof rice, and see you soon. Bye bye.